at my show on Monday. I was hoping someday you'd be on your way to better things. It's not about your makeup or how you try to shape up to these tiresome paper dreams. Paper dreams, honey. So now you pour your heart out, you're telling me you're far out, not about to lie down for your cause. But you don't pull my strings, cause I'm a better man, moving on to better things. But oh, I love her because she moves in her own way. But oh, she came to my show just to hear about my day. And at a show on Tuesday, she was in her mindset, tempered furs and spangled boots. Looks are deceiving, make me believe it, and these tiresome paper dreams. Paper dreams, honey, yeah. So won't you go far, tell them you're a keeper, not about to lie down for your cause. And you don't pull my strings, cause I'm a better man, moving on to better things. But oh, I love her because she moves in her own way. But oh, she came to my show just to hear about my day.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you please be upstanding if you can to welcome the bridal party. Good afternoon, everybody, and may I extend a very warm welcome to the Manor House. My name is Denise, and I have the pleasure of conducting the ceremony today. And this is my colleague Baljit, who is the registrar who will be overseeing the ceremony and making sure all the legal requirements are met. This place in which we are now met has been duly sanctioned according to law for the celebration of marriages. You have been invited here today on this very special occasion to witness the joining in matrimony of James Michael Cyril and Claire Marie Parker. If any person present knows of any lawful impediment to this marriage, they should declare it now. Looks like we're good to go. You obviously invited the right guests. Just got one very important question to ask. Who gives Claire to be married to James?
I do.
Thank you. Can all guests please be seated? And you've seated yourself. The purpose of marriage is that you may always love, care for, and support each other throughout the joys and sorrows of life. Marriage means making a commitment for life, to developing cooperation, friendship, and mutual respect. It calls for trust, understanding, and encouragement. James and Claire wish to publicly affirm their relationship and offer to each other the security that comes from legally binding vows, sincerely made and faithfully kept. Before you are joined in marriage, it's my duty to remind you of the solemn and binding character of the vows that you are about to make. Marriage, according to the law of this country, is a union of two people voluntarily entered into for life and to the exclusion of all others. I declare that I know of no legal reason why I, James Michael Cyril, may not be joined in marriage to Claire Marie Parker. Your turn now, Claire. I declare
I declare
that I know
that I know
of no legal reason
of no legal reason
why I, Claire Marie Parker,
why I, Claire Marie Parker,
may not be joined
may not be joined
in marriage
in marriage
to James Michael Cyril.
to James Michael Cyril.
Well done. That's good. So James and Claire have asked to include a personal promise in the ceremony today. So James, will you love and respect Claire, comfort and care for her? Will you solemnly promise that you will always protect her and be a faithful and loving husband?
I will.
And the same for you, Claire. If you agree, you just need to say I will at the end. Claire, will you love and respect James, comfort and care for him? Will you solemnly promise that you will always protect him and be a faithful and loving wife?
I will.
I, James Michael Cyril,
I, James Michael Sorrell,
take you,
take you,
Claire Marie Parker,
Claire Marie Parker,
to be my wedded wife.
to be my wedded wife.
Your turn now, Claire, the same. I, Claire Marie Parker,
I, Claire Marie Parker,
take you,
take you,
James Michael Cyril,
James Michael Cyril,
to be my wedded
to
husband.
be my wedded husband.
Smashing. Now the time has come for you both to exchange rings. The wedding ring is an unbroken circle. It has no beginning and no end, and it symbolises everlasting love and is an outward sign of the promises that you have just made to each other. Claire, I give you this ring
Claire, I give you this ring
as a token
as a token
of my love and affection,
of my love and affection,
and as a lasting reminder
and as a lasting reminder
of the promises
of the promises
we have made here today.
we have made here today.
And then just secure the ring fully on. James, I give you this ring
James, I give you this ring
as a token
as a token
of my love and
of
affection,
my love and affection,
and as a lasting reminder
and as a lasting reminder
of the promises
of the promises
we have made here today.
we have made here today.
James and Claire, your wedding today is one of the most important of life's milestones. You've asked your family and friends to share your happiness and witness your expression of commitment to each other. You have both made the declarations prescribed by law and a solemn and binding commitment to each other in the presence of your witnesses. Let us hope that this occasion will form a special day in your lives to look upon with much love and happiness. James and Claire, it's now my absolute pleasure to tell you that you are now husband and wife, lawfully joined, and James, you may kiss your beautiful bride.
Now what do we do now we're married?
You say that I won't lose you, but you can't predict the future, so
For the
just
first time, the new Mr. and Mrs. Cyril. So can you please give them all a very noisy round of applause?
Cheers to the Sorrels! Always have, always will.
You looked absolutely beautiful, Claire.
We love you.
Out of this world. Enjoy the rest of your lives together. And we love you both. Many loads. happy days.
Congratulations! James, Claire, congratulations!
Congratulations, James and Claire. Have a lovely and happy life together.
Love it.
I just want to say I love you both. I wish you all the happiness in the world. And if you ever need a drink at a pub, I'll be there for you.
You're buying.
Cheers to that.
Cheers!
Cheers. Cheers.
Al, Claire, we're so happy to be here for your special day. I just met you today, and you're already my favourite. You're already beyond my favourite. Bottle boy who? No, I'm just kidding. James Sorrell, I cannot believe you have gotten married to the love of your life. I'm so honoured to be at this amazing British wedding. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Love being here and wishing you all the very best for your life ahead. And this is a beautiful day and you deserve every happiness.
And we are bottle boys for life. Let's go!
It's not you, it's not anyone. Gotta tell you, looking back on my life, you're the only good I've ever done.
Congratulations! Thank you, Claire, for an absolutely wonderful day. You look absolutely stunning. It's just absolutely perfect. Love you loads. Thank you.
Hi, James and Claire. What a wonderful day. Fantastic day for you both. And we just wish you all the happiness in the years to come. All your best, Uncle William.
Congratulations and welcome to the family.
Are the only one I'll ever love. If it's not you, it's not anyone. Gotta tell you, looking back on my life, you're the only good I've ever done. Yeah, you. If it's not you, it's not anyone.
Oh, it's upside down, it'll help. Well, it'll help if I have them right way around. It cost me a tenner and it's upside down, but it'll do. To be honest, I was going to start and just make sure, you know, everyone had had a good old drink, but being our nearest and dearest, then there's an absolute guarantee of that. So yeah, wrong page, it'll help. But yeah, before I go any further, on behalf of Claire and myself, thank you for each and every one of you. Some coming from close, some coming from far. Australia, Italy, fair few, so you know, quite far. So your love and support means the world to us, and we couldn't be any happier right now. Well, I'm speaking for myself, but you know, as a couple now, I'll talk for both of us for now. Thank you to Marie, Ernie, Angela, my mum and dad for helping us with this, because we wouldn't be in such a beautiful venue if it wasn't for them. So thank you very much. So I'll have a drink to that anyway. Unfortunately, as with any event like this, it's not possible to have everyone we love here with us today. Could I please ask you all to join my wife and I and raise a glass to those that are gone but never forgotten, in particular Claire's dad, David. I think we'd all agree that if David was able to be with us today, he'd be the proudest man in the room at how beautiful Claire looks today. There's no question about that. Thank you to the bridesmaids, Ruth, Jade, Emily, Pagan and Millie. Thank you for, you know, bringing her back from... How many hen do's did she have? To be honest, I know for a fact, if you'd have all left her to her own devices, she'd still be in the girls' toilets. There'd be 30 more people. So thank you from me. But thank you from our bank account mainly, because that would have cost a bomb. But no, honestly, yeah. I won't even mention how well Benidorm went. I'm sure she'll show you the video from the Red Line if you want to see, but I'll just leave it at that. That'll do. But yeah, no, it's been absolutely great. With more than one hen do, there's multiple people to thank. So a special mention goes out to Shamel, Claire, Paula and Beth for going above and beyond with the hen do. And thank you for giving us such a big hangover. So when I rock up poorly, ill, anything, I've got a free pass. There's nothing else to say. So I thank you all greatly for that one, because that's done me a right favour. Thank you to my two best men, Sam and Tom, my groomsmen Cal, Jack and Jamie, and everyone here today that jumped on a plane and came to Krakow with us. Honestly, it's ace. And Uncle Chris, I'm safe to check there's no bidets here, so you're absolutely sound for the rest of this. You're all good. Don't worry about it. And if Jason Chapman could do me a favour and put his hand up, please. Anyone sees him later, his low centre of gravity, doesn't matter how much he drinks, he will not fall over. He's harmless. If he stares at you, he don't mean it, I promise you. But yeah. No, jokes aside, thank you, Tom. You absolutely smashed it with a stag do. Getting 17 lads back to Krakow and back. No broken bones, no tattoos, unlike the girls. Then, you know, I think we're a bunch of saints. So, yes. No, just before I finish, I'd like to share with everyone the moment I first met Claire. For everyone that didn't go to school with us at Wycliffe, when you first went in year 9, you sat in this little foyer, protect you from the big boys, you know, on your own, year 9s only. And I was sat on the windowsill where I could see the doors, I could see everyone, I could see everything that walks in. Where I see this beautiful blonde girl walk through, and I'm thinking to myself, back then you couldn't rely on a pint of confidence, no chance. Wasn't happening at school. So, honestly, there was a black and gold phone that I used to think that I have still got to this day. And I thought, that is my cue. He had the exact same phone as me, and I thought, that is how I'm going to wander over and say hello. So every single time I look at this phone, it's always reminded me of you, and it feels 16 years ago, feels about 2 seconds ago, honestly. So I'll end it on that, but no.
Like a ringtone then, Freya.
No, honestly, thank you everyone, and that is from me.
Hi Claire and James, thank you for a magnificent day. You have both done us really proud. We are both very proud of you. You both looked fantastic.
Congratulations, James and Claire. We are so happy to share this special day with you. You are the most wonderful couple and the most beautiful couple we've ever met, and we wish you all the very best. Wonderful life together. And Kenny wants to say...
I have nothing else to add because that was so beautiful that I'm just going to let her do it all.
But we love you dearly.
I'd like to say congratulations to Claire, my new daughter-in-law, and James, my only son, and I major on the word only because so does he. They are a wonderful couple, and I'm so glad that they are together, and it's a dream for both of them, and I thank them.
And have a wonderful, wonderful day, and welcome to the first day of the rest of your happy lives. Congratulations to you both. Love you.
And I do also. Cheers, darling.
It feels really unfair after that lovely romantic thing to start with. Marriage is ugly. But I'm sure those who are married will agree with me. You see the absolute worst of someone. You see them when they're mad, sad, being stubborn, and when they're so unlovable, they just make you want to scream. But at the same time, it's all so worth it. Because you also get to see them when they're laughing so hard that tears run down their face, when they can't help but make those weird noises that they only make ever in front of you. But it's also the getting stressed, when they get stressed out about stupid things that aren't important, or managing to get lost in an empty room, or a straight road. But at the same time, it's eating the amazing dinner they cook for you every night. You see them at 3 o'clock in the morning when the whole world is asleep except you two, slightly drunk, eating crisps on the kitchen floor. You get to see the side of them that no one else does. And to be fair, it's not always pretty. It's snorting whilst they're laughing. It's the tears when it all feels like it's crashing down. It's the bedhead and the nasty smells. It's the singing songs and it's getting the words wrong. It's the random dances. That's me. It's the anger that's not directed at you, but it so feels that it is. But it's the sheer joy in the memory making. Marriage isn't a beautiful thing, and I can say that from 48 years. Marriage isn't a beautiful thing.
You're not helping.
But it is. It's absolutely amazing. It's knowing that someone loves you so much and they won't leave you even though you've said something that's nasty. It means having someone having your back no matter what. It's fights. It's fights over stupid things. In fact, it's fights over anything. But it's also those nights when you fall asleep in the arms of someone that actually you never want to be with anybody else. Because at the end of the day, you get to climb into bed with your best friend. Admittedly, I keep wanting to look at him. Admittedly, the weirdest.
It's not about me.
Most annoying, loyal, moodiest, loving, ridiculous, but perfect person that you know.
It is me.
It's the dirtiest, hardest, most rewarding job there is. Marriage may not be beautiful, but it's a heaven of a ride. So James, Claire, Today really is the first day of the rest of your life. Congratulations and love to you both, to this wonderful, ugly, yet wonderful institution called marriage.
Congratulations, thank you very much for a great day. I hope you have a good day. I hope you've had a good day as well. Thank you, it's been fantastic.
And happy first day of the rest of your life.
Well, right, James, congratulations. Claire, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, guys.
Mission successful. I'm absolutely arsehole before 6 o'clock. Thank you. Oh, sorry, we're not last word. Sorry.
Of course we are, mate.
Go on, Charlie, it's your turn.
Hope you have a very happy marriage for the rest of your
Go on,
life.
mate, get it out.
That's it, that's all I've got to say.
I apologise about his teeth.
Fucking nothing over here, innit?
Right. Cool.
James, Claire, massive congratulations on your big day. I've got a few people here that I've got some words of wisdom to share with you.
I don't know about words of wisdom, but happy to be here. It's been an amazing day so far. Great to be part of it. Passing it on to Sambo.
Thank you for having me. You're the most beautiful couple in the world. You made me tear up with them speeches. I love you both to bits, and I hope you both have a long, happy, healthy life together.
Claire, you looked absolutely amazing. James, you really pulled a good one.
I hope you've had the day that you always wanted. James, I know you've put so much thought into this. Claire, you have too, but James has done so much planning behind the scenes for his special day. I hope you've had the best day. Congratulations, and wishing you so much happiness.
Cheers, guys.
Do you remember when you were driving and you jumped out of the car because a bee came in?
Remember the time that I pretended to get with Cyril?
Remember the time you asked me not to wear rusty rings to the wedding, but I'm wearing an Asda ring?
Cue the Claire face.
Congratulations, James and Claire!
Good afternoon, my name's Ruth and I'm an alcoholic. Oh wait, sorry, wrong group. So the majority of you know that I'm Claire's sister Ruth. I have the honour of being the beautiful bride's sister and the older one at that. Yes, you heard that right, I am the older one. I know it's hard to believe. However, enough about me. Today is about my lovely sister and her new husband. I'd like to start with a quote by Dr. Seuss. You know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because the reality is finally better than your dreams. I want to tell you both how stunning you both look today. I'm not sure I've ever seen a more attractive couple, except for Evo and I. Claire asked me to be a maid of honour and I was delighted to accept this honour, but also a little anxious about the responsibility. This is first wedding in our family, so there have been tears and tantrums, but that was just me attempting this toast on Wednesday night. I want to express my gratitude for everyone coming to celebrate the wedding today, especially to those who have had to get a plane ticket and take time off work to do so. You have our utmost appreciation. Claire and James have carefully prepared every aspect of their wedding, from the stunning ceremony to the reception, menus, music and decorations. I have to say the late nights and long hours spent working on this wedding have been worth it. Everything has come out looking stunning. Please join me in giving the bride and groom a big round of applause. So, finding someone who loves you, Claire.
If it's got to be crying. So that looks yeah. Oh. You remember looking to that?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't read.
So, finding someone, Claire, who loves you as much as I do is rare. And I'm so happy you found that in James. drink. No. So Claire and mine's bond has always been strong, even though I really desperately wanted a brother when she was born. I still remember the disappointment now. But luckily she won me over with her chubby arms and legs and cheeky smile. And now she's my forever best friend. And I've been lucky enough to see her develop into the stunning woman she is today. Claire, being your big sister has been an honour and one of the best things to happen to me. Basically, because having a younger sister meant I could always bossy you around. And of course, take the credit for what an amazing person you are today. Of course, it wasn't always roses, and we argued and fought. 2 memorable moments where I beat her once, only the once, by somehow kicking her off the bed and her landing in the wardrobe. Then the next week, she beat me by flashing her nipples mere centimetres from my eyes. This sight is permanently burnt into them, hence where the name Fairy Nipples comes from. But the tears were always quickly wiped away before Mum and Dad came home. Despite these squabbles, my memories are filled by laughter, hugs and secrets shared between us. She has always been my favourite person, despite sharing a bed, clothes and makeup over the years. When Claire first mentioned bumping into James again, bar every Christmas Eve, Westcott wobble and a ripping into him over his overly plucked eyebrows at the time, I realised this was the end for her and she had found her forever person. You two are such wonderful examples of people in the world. Not only do you deserve each other's love, but you also serve as an example to all of us. This evening, in addition to the wonderful sister I already have, I was given the gift of a brother, which is what I always wanted. Sorry, Claire. James, one piece of advice. If she wants a new pet, let her. Otherwise, the 12-year-old Claire inside of her will be jumping out of a moving car, trying to catch the rabbit you said she can have if you can catch it, and nearly losing her foot in the process. Just speaking from experience. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses with me and let's cheers to love, and may all of your ups and downs be in the bedroom, in which case the timer for my nieces and nephews begins tonight. Love is more powerful than any other force. It is unseen, yet it can change in a moment, and it can bring you greater happiness than anything could. Congratulations to the bride and groom. I love you both, lads.
Hi, Claire and James. Congratulations. I hope you've had the best day and many, many happy returns for the best of your lives.
No, I'm joking. I want to do that. I'm just going to have this moment. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. No, I'm joking. Congratulations. I hope you had the best day. And yeah, I genuinely that. Love you. I love you both.
I love you.
Congratulations! James and Claire, wishing you a lifetime of love, laughter and happiness. We love you. Woo!
Congratulations, Claire and James. We absolutely love you to absolute millions. We think you are the best couple going and we couldn't imagine a better pair together.
To Uncle James, I hope you have the best wedding.
And we hope it's a really special day, don't we? Yeah, whoa!
So where do I start? So I think casting our minds back to where I met James, I guess, the first time. It's 2013, it's Leeds Beckett Freshers Week. And I think many people in this room will be quite nostalgic about that, I'm sure. 10 years ago, boys, 10 years. 10 years ago. Anyway, the night's theme is beach party, and I remember this very vividly. Gathering outside the Rose Bowl, you can imagine a sea of Hawaiian shirts, flower garland necklaces, and some of the guys hoping to get lucky opted for, obviously, Baywatch outfits, and many of the girls consciously chose to forget that they weren't actually on a beach, but instead on a freezing cold night out in the north. So you're probably wondering what James turned up in. Well, James turned up in a vest, obviously to show off his post-puberty muscles, which he still has got some of them characteristics now, but also paired with a shark hat. And he obviously thought that would help him get lucky with the girls, which I can say, Claire, don't worry, it definitely did not. But I really ask you all to remember the shark element, because we are going to come back to that later. So I've just realised you've not had a drink, so let's get cracking, shall we? Of course, as with most uni experiences, our biggest priority were the nights out, of which I think we had many. And not only, and one of the things that James did quite early into our uni experience, which I'm sure is not news to Michelle and David, is run out of money quite early on to say that he'd got his student loan. So there we were stood at the bar, and James couldn't pay. So he did what any rational person would do in this situation. Stood there right at the bar, he decided to extend his overdraft, and thanks to modern technology and probably very questionable banking practices, Tom, he was topped back up and ready to go, frivolously spending his money on the thing he knows best, alcohol. So I think there's a first drink in there for everybody. So I'm sorry to say, Michelle and David, and I'm sure as intelligent individuals you're not naive to this fact, but the many times James has asked to borrow money off you is purely down to terrible prioritisation, not the many white lies and excuses I'm sure he spent ages coming up with. So as money began to unsurprisingly run dry for James again, which is a common story, as you'll probably gather, James had to switch to using Sainsbury's vodka as opposed to the Grey Goose and Belvedere that, of course, he had been used to. Now, one interesting fact we did get on Sainsbury's vodka is it is the only vodka that we know that freezes, which questions what is in this stuff. But, of course, to mask this utterly tragic situation, James would, to keep his premium image, would pour his Sainsbury's basic vodka into Grey Goose bottles and Belvedere bottles. So when he rocked up, so as we continued through first year, James, Jason and I, we casually agreed to go interrailing. But following a first, and obviously as someone who is into new things and cutting edge of technology, James decided that he wanted to purchase a GoPro to document our time in Europe. Now, of course, with an expensive first year, James had absolutely no chance of affording this on his own. So he came up with one of his cunning money management tactics, which was if me, James and Jason would split the cost, it'd be 100 quid each, it'd be 100 quid each rather than 300 quid. And he made one important promise about this, that he would produce a really cool video that we'd all look back on in years to come. Now, of course, you've probably all gathered, we are still waiting to see any of this footage. We've seen none of it. I'll believe it when I see it. And more to the point, Jason, do you have any idea where that GoPro is? I've not seen that GoPro. No. So I think you all need to have I think we need to keep you all the drinks moving. So I think there's a drink in there for that. So fast forward to exactly 9 years ago this week, and we started like any other student backpacker does, and we started in the Leeds Business Lounge to start our backpacking experience. And then we made it to our first destination, Amsterdam. And as you do, James wanted to hire some bikes. But unfortunately, one of us had to leave our passports to hire the bikes, and for some reason, I was delegated this task. And after hours of riding round and visiting a few establishments Amsterdam is well known for, and no, not those ones, Claire, before you get the wrong idea, the other ones, which did cloud our judgment slightly, James had the audacity, with one of his great ideas, and I think there's a drink in there for the great ideas, it's one of his great ideas, to just dump the bikes and sort my passport later, despite the fact that we were actually on a 7-week holiday and I'd have been able to go nowhere. So yeah, you can all absolutely have a drink for that logic. So moving on to Budapest, and during a casual game of pool, one of the balls unfortunately got stuck in the pool table, and James had yet another one of his bright ideas. They all stem from him, just if you want to ever know this. If we just pick up the table just slightly, then of course the ball would come loose. Now, a word to the wise, don't do this. And the reason is obviously a pool table has a solid concrete base and the legs immediately fall off as soon as you pick it up. So there we were, stood there with this table with Jason's life in the balance, not being able to do anything with this ridiculously heavy pool table. And next was Croatia. And I'm sorry this is going to be long, but I really wanted to take you on our full journey, so you'll just have to bear with me while I do that. But next was Croatia, where we decided to hire a boat for the day. And having thrown the anchor in, we commenced the most important part of our day, which was, of course, sunbathing and chilling for the day. But probably about half an hour after, we were awoken by the sounds of yelling from the top of this yacht, from what I can only describe as probably an Italian mafia member. Very, very angry guy, because what had happened is we'd slowly been drifting with the anchor floating on the seabed directly into the side of this massive yacht. Now, James was obviously stood at one side trying to keep our boat from gouging a huge hole out of the side of this £50 million ship, while the guy is literally screaming down at him. Me and Jason trying to start the engine. And we learned a really interesting new fact about our good friend James at that point, and that's that he was terrified of the sea. And he was terrified of sharks. Thinking back to that time in first year where you were wearing that shark hat, I am wondering whether there was a traumatic experience that night that I'm still yet to hear about. Also, just for the record, I did save James's life that day when he, in his own words, sliced open his foot on a sea urchin or a rock and claimed that he was going to bleed to death. So just a quick mention on Venice. We all took it in turns while travelling to book the accommodation, and it was James's turn to book the accommodation for Amsterdam. And during a very stormy night in in Venice, James booked what I can only describe as a Wendy house. Genuinely, do you remember that? He then also instigated us getting tickets to Benicassim Festival in Spain, which was absolutely incredible, but also hell in extreme peak summer heat. And things were much worse for James when people, multiple times, fell into his tent. But thanks to his great social skills, he managed to make friends with an actual architect who was able to rebuild that tent, probably as good as the Sydney Opera House. So as you probably gathered, we've had some once-in-a-lifetime experiences together. And fast forward a few months and we got the opportunity to go skiing in Austria. And after a few days on the slopes, obviously we're pretty soft, I would say, you and Jason, we decided we needed some TLC. So we found out about a world-class spa that Arnold Schwarzenegger himself had been staying at the day prior. And what we found out on that day is what people wear or don't wear in European spas. And, well, let's say a bonding experience for us all at the least. But more so, a bonding experience as well between James and a panel of staring Austrian women who he had to accidentally rub salt into his eyes and had to walk stark naked in front of this panel of women. We definitely don't do things by halves, and I think there's a drink in there for you in that. However, the trip must have been a real success for James, who had found a new love for the slopes and a new thing to consume his money. And James decided that he wanted to scrap skiing because he was too cool for that, and he wanted to switch to boarding. And he decided, as always, to buy the board, and he is definitely the definition of all the gear and no idea, because he has absolutely never been. Have you ever used that board? Been since? No. So I think you're all going to have a drink for that one. So once that was all done, we obviously decided it was time to conquer the west coast of America. And I'm not going to say too much on this, but one thing that became clear for James is his obviously keenness to embrace new trends. And we'd heard about this really cool new thing called Airbnb, which makes me feel very old talking about that as a new thing. But But my personal highlight was James booking us a romantic couples teepee, which was filled with Kama Sutra books and candles. And we'll just leave that one there. Yeah. There's nothing more I can say about that. I'm not gonna. That's it. So moving into recent years, and a single James came down to mine, and it became apparent that James was glued to his phone, and he clearly admitted that he was texting a girl. And whilst he fessed up very little, it was clear that he was obsessed. And I said to Evie that night, "You are definitely going to marry that girl." And as usual, I was obviously wrong, because shortly after you rekindled things with Claire. And no, you are completely right. It is not true. It is not true. It absolutely was Claire, and he was 0 to 100 in the most best and sincere way possible. And I think you all need to have a drink for that logic, for the 0 to 100. But Claire, you are absolutely the perfect person for James, and you've let him have his big day today, I think is fair to say. And as with James, I'm sure the budget management has been somewhat probably questionable. And I know he's enjoyed setting all of your tasks for you as well, I'm sure. But for me, you've had such a positive impact on him. And I speak on behalf of all of us, I think, all of our friendship group at least, to say that you've made our friend the happiest guy in the world. And for that, we are forever grateful. So here's to the past for all you've learned, some more than others, James. And here's the present for this incredible day. And here's to the future for all you guys have got to look forward to together. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in raising your glasses for the newlyweds, the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Searle.
Congrats, guys, all the best. Best of luck to your futures.
Thank you for making me a part of your day. Love you both.
Right, this is my third video today. I would again like to reiterate my congratulations to James and Claire, Mr. and Mrs. Searle, for being an absolute gorgeous couple. However, now it's my third video, I would like to also dedicate this video to the England football team. God bless Gareth Southgate.
Am I on? You're on. How you doing, bro? All I want to say is, how do you like me now? Oh, wee! Cheese! I've completed life. Got notes to say. Got the girl. What else do you need to do?
How do you like me now?
I'm done. Wait about that. How'd you like me now?
It's the money clip.
None of it's getting spent tonight, but it's there for the show.
I'm yours, baby, I'm yours, and I'll be yours until the stars fall from the sky. Yours until the rivers all run dry. In other words, until I die. Baby, I'm yours. I'll be yours until the sun no longer shines. Yours until the poets run out of rhyme. In other words, until the end of time. I'm gonna stay right here by your side and do my best to keep you satisfied. Nothing in the world could drive me away.